Good morning, everyone. Pastor Ron Brown here with Pastor Laura Kistart from the First Congregational Church in Southington, Connecticut, for a preview of our worship services and some other upcoming events this weekend, December 11th.
So this upcoming Sunday, December 11th, is the third Sunday in Advent, and we will begin worship on Sunday morning at 8 a.m. in the Barnes Memorial Chapel. Our chapel service is a simple worship service with piano music, the scripture, sermon, and the sacrament of communion. And so we invite you to join us if you're an early riser for our 8 a.m. worship service. We continue worship on Sunday morning here in the Meeting House with our 10:15 service. And our 10:15 service has a variety of music styles. We'll sing a traditional hymn, and we'll also have the music and band for our branches with contemporary songs. Our 10:15 service also features a holy surprise, and this is a moment when we invite the children to come forward and hear a special reflection for them, and then the children are invited to go to age-appropriate lessons for the remainder of the worship service. Again, the scripture, sermon, the sacrament of communion, and prayers, all elements of our 10:15 worship service. We do live stream our 10:15 service, so you can watch online that live on Sunday morning on our church website, on our church Facebook page, or on our YouTube channel, either live on Sunday or at a time that's convenient for you later in the week.
So as Pastor Laura said, we are coming to the third Sunday of Advent. That is the Sunday when we light the rose or pink candle on the Advent wreath, the candle for joy. So that will be kind of the focus of the message on Sunday. We are continuing in this narrative lectionary that we began in September, and we've been reading passages from the Old Testament up until now, and this Sunday is the last reading from the Old Testament in this narrative lectionary cycle. We go back to the prophet Isaiah from chapter 42, which is one of the four servant songs, they're sometimes called, within the second part of Isaiah. And in these passages, the prophet speaks of a servant who will be called forth to serve God's people. And some think maybe it is the servant is God's people. But this servant comes as a leader in a much more gentle and joyful way than we think of a king who leads military conquest. That this leader, even a bruised reed, will not break. And it is that kind of gentle and steady leadership that we experience joy. And as we approach the birth of Christ, we'll be reflecting on that joyful kind of leadership that brings a different understanding of what it means to follow in God's way.
And as we prepare to celebrate Christ's birth, we wanted to just give an additional preview for an upcoming Sunday. So Sunday, December 18th, during our 10:15 service, we will, a large part of our worship service will be a children's pageant. The children will tell us the story of the birth of Christ, and this particular year will be really special because the last few years were disrupted by the pandemic, and so we're very much looking forward to this area being full of children in costumes, and they have really been preparing and practicing for several weeks to tell us this story. And so we just wanted to make sure that you're aware that Sunday to maybe get here a little early if you have a particular place you'd like to sit. So we'll have lots of familiar and unfamiliar faces in the pews as we cheer on the children with their performance. And then also just wanted to make sure that you have on your calendar for Christmas Eve worship services. This year, Christmas Eve is Saturday, December 24th, and we will worship at 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. So both of those services are ways that you can join us for worship on Christmas Eve.
So we hope to see you this Sunday, December 11th, for the third Sunday of Advent and our focus on joy.
God bless.